There's no other place to start than this man, Victor Osimhen, and the reports that Arsenal are in talks to sign him this summer. James, what can you tell us?
Well, this is a report that's emerged in the Telegraph this morning from Matt Law, a brilliant journalist based in the UK. And we know that Arsenal and Galatasaray have been speaking about the possibility of Gabriel Martinelli going the other way. Now, it appears there's been wide-ranging conversations between Arsenal, their sporting director, Andrea Berta, and Galatasaray around a potential signing of Victor Osimhen. Now, there's a possible scenario that he's been offered to Arsenal, or there's a scenario whereby Arsenal have asked about his availability. We wait to see what has happened in those talks and whether this progresses into something verging on interest and potentially a bid from Arsenal. And it's the Telegraph's understanding that Galatasaray have an interest in Gabriel Martinelli and Ethan Nwaneri. So very early stages. We know there's been interest in Victor Osimhen from clubs in the Premier League for a long time. We know Arsenal have had an interest in signing a striker in this transfer. We know Julian Alvarez appears to be their main target, but we know Atletico Madrid aren't prepared to let him go for anywhere less than £170 million, around €200 million. So potentially, if that's ruled out, Arsenal need to look at other options if they are serious about signing another striker in this transfer window. And here's a man who's a proven goal scorer. Yeah. So we wait to see if anything develops following these talks between Arsenal and Galatasaray. We know the two clubs are talking. We don't know how serious Arsenal are about signing Victor Osimhen in this transfer window.
Yeah, he's often talked about during this period, isn't he, Dan? I mean, is he the guy to unmask Arsenal's... yeah, thank you for laughing at the gag. I'm glad you got it. It's early for that one, but is he the man to unmask their attacking problems?
I think he'll certainly help. He would be a marquee signing. I don't think as big as Vinny Jr., who they were after in the first place. I don't think that deal was ever going to happen. But Victor Osimhen, yeah, he's a proven goal scorer at Napoli, Galatasaray, and now hopefully he can come to England, because there's been a lot of talk about him over many years, linked with all types of clubs, and it's never happened. I think now is the time for that to happen, and he could be the final piece that Arsenal probably need to help Gyökeres really, and help all those creators, Odegaard, Eze, even Bruno now, and he'll be the man to finish all those chances off.
I mean, they are leaving themselves light if they've let Trossard go, and now if they let Martinelli go. But is he an upgrade on what they have there, James, in your opinion?
Well, in terms of the two central striking options, they've got Victor Gyökeres and they've got Kai Havertz. Whether or not he's a striker or a number 8 or a number 10, I don't think anybody will ever be able to get to the bottom of that debate. But here's what Victor Osimhen has done over the course of the last 5 seasons. You look at those goals there, there's a reason why we talk about him in every single transfer window on Sky Sports News. The last 2 seasons there have been in the Turkish Super League, the previous 3 seasons in Serie A with Napoli. So he's a proven goal scorer. You'd argue that the Turkish Super League isn't anywhere close to what the Premier League is, but you can see his body of work there, very, very impressive. We can compare him to Arsenal's other strike options there. Victor Gyökeres scored 14 goals in the Premier League last season. They won the Premier League title, but I think it was a fairly underwhelming campaign from Victor Gyökeres. He didn't start in some of the big games. He didn't score in the big games either. We know Kai Havertz was injured for a large portion of last season, scored in the Champions League final, always pops up with really important goals, whether it be in a Chelsea shirt or in an Arsenal shirt now. And Gabriel Jesus, he's into the final year of his contract. We know there's interest from Napoli in signing him in this transfer window. But you can see Victor Osimhen there, 15 goals from 22 matches last season. His injury record isn't incredible. He's not available for every single match, which is something which Arsenal may have to weigh up. They had 63 matches in all competitions last season. They need their strikers fully fit, and with the issues that Kai Havertz has suffered over recent seasons, they don't want to be signing a player who's not going to be available for every match. But that's how Osimhen stacks up against the other Arsenal forwards. And you think last season, going back to what we saw in the last campaign, Gyökeres scored 14 goals. The next top scorer was 7. I think it was Saka who got 7 goals. And the fact they won the Premier League title is remarkable when you think they didn't have a goal scorer scoring 20 goals. The goals weren't shared around. They dominated when it came to set pieces, as we know. This season, they'll try and be more progressive, you'd think. And if Osimhen is available for a good fee, the wages will be something that Arsenal need to consider, because that was one of the discussions when it came to Vinicius Jr. if his wages were going to be north of £400,000 and you made him the best paid player at the club, what impact would that have on the dressing room? Is that a factor that Arsenal need to be aware of potentially if they're bringing in a player who's being very heavily paid above some of his teammates?
Yeah, it could be. But if he goes on to score 20, 25 goals and wins in the Premier League, I don't think anyone cares. I mean, the lads there, obviously Bruno's gone in and probably a high earner, Declan Rice, but they proved it. And I think if players want to see world-class players come into the dressing room and they're only going to help them, I don't think there should be too much of an issue. There's not too much difference really from the highest to the middle earners. And he's a world-class proven striker, and strikers always get paid the most as well.
All right, well, Osimhen has made it clear in the past that he dreams of playing in the Premier League. Here he is, talking while at Napoli in March 2023.
Playing in one of the top five leagues in the world is amazing feeling for me and a good fit. But of course, a lot of people worldwide consider the Premier League as the best and the strongest league. But of course, I'm on the process, I'm in the phase. So now I'm in one of the best league in the world, which is the Italian Serie A. Of course, I'm working so hard to make sure that I achieve my dream in playing, of course, in the Premier League someday.
Well, he has been linked with Chelsea and Manchester United in the past too. How excited would it be to finally get this man in the Premier League? Because that's going to be the big test for the player, isn't it?
Oh, huge. It is a marquee signing for the Premier League, and the Premier League is where we want all the best players. He'll come in and be a straight starter. I think all the noise last year on Gyökeres, he obviously done really well in Sporting, scored a lot of goals, but I don't think the excitement was really truly there. I think in the world there's a lack of number 9s out there who can come in and improve you straight away. But this guy probably can do that. He's had a great record everywhere he's been. He looks a real threat, and I think he can go into that Arsenal starting 11. And there's not many players that can and improve them to go to another level.
So just to confirm, if you were Mikel Arteta, you'd start him ahead of Gyökeres up top? Yeah.
Yeah, 100%, yeah.
And you can argue why when you consider what he did in that season with Kvaratskhelia, who is now at PSG, 31 goals from 39 appearances in Serie A. I did mention previously about his injury record, and that is one thing that Arsenal would have to bear in mind. Any buying club would have to bear in mind, because here is the number of matches he's missed since the start of the 21-22 season due to injury. And there's been a range of different injuries as well. Last season there was all sorts of injuries, which meant he didn't play every match for Galatasaray in the Super League last season. And when you consider some of the injury issues that Arsenal have already with the likes of William Saliba, what sort of shape is Declan Rice going to be in at the start of this season? Do you want to sign a player who isn't necessarily going to be available for all 38 games as Arsenal try and regain and retain the Premier League title and try and lift that Champions League title as well this season?
Yeah, they paid a lot of money for him as well, Galatasaray, 75 million. I believe it was a Turkish Super League record. But is it even harder, Dan, to stay fit and physically able in the Premier League?
Look, the Premier League now, where it's going, it's so athletic, so quick. The tempo of the game is much quicker than Spain, Italy and Turkey, where he's been used to. But I believe he's a professional player. He'll come over and do his utmost to keep fit and be professional and hopefully, be available for the majority of the games. Obviously, we've alluded to Gyökeres will be there. You've got Kai Havertz, you've got Mikel Merino, who everyone sort of forgets about. And,
You're right.
He's popped up in the World Cup and scored 2 really, really important goals and helped them win the World Cup. And he's a fantastic player as well. So they've got 3-4 options there. But Osimhen and Gyökeres obviously are the ultimate number 9s that you need in a team.